All right, and we are back going into our final hour of Dungeon World Oldtown. Still
Dun,
in
dun,
the
dun, dun.
tutorial tower. So we had left off with Estrelli stabbing his rapier into the zombie that was clutching Red by the scruff of her neck. And he was able to basically work an arm. Like he pierced the shoulder of it and twisted in such a way that he severed the rotten tendons and stuff and detached the arm. But the other zombie that had risen from the coffin reached up and slammed him down into the coffin. What do you all do? You hear a slamming sound.
Um, I'd like to rush down there and attempt to save Red with arrows. I'm a friend of Australia because Australia is a friend of nature, but mostly I'm a friend of nature. So Red's gonna take priority in this instance.
Okay, so go ahead and roll your volley.
All right, let's see here. Hey, that's a better roll.
Okay, go ahead and roll your damage. You have a clear shot. So your arrow goes straight through the head of this thing, and its grip on Red goes limp, and its body crumples to the ground. You see
Um,
Estrelli struggling as a zombie holds him down into a coffin.
can, can I go again to defend Australia? Is that legit? Or I mean,
Um,
somebody else can go too.
does
We
anybody
can
else
wait for
want to
somebody else to
do
go.
anything while I look at
I mean,
basic moves?
I'm pretty sure that Zed would have run around the corner with Olivia,
Okay.
um, but trying to stay toward the backside coffin so as not to get too close to the fight. Um, Not really sure if this would be the time to like move forward and try to defend.
Okay, so Olivia, would you like to defend Estrelli?
Yes.
Okay. Roll plus your constitution.
Constitution. How did I do? I failed.
Okay.
You tried.
I want you to mark XP.
I did that.
That could have been my role. Now I get to
No.
come in and save the
Uh,
day.
You would have succeeded, though, is the thing. So. So I guess the way that I'm trying to defend him is, so there's a zombie like stuffing him in a coffin, right? And
Yes.
that's roughly the situation.
Mhm.
Okay, so me and Red are trying to pull the zombie off of him. So that's like what we were attempting to do.
Okay. Um. Hmm. Let's see. So you both try to pull the zombie off of Estrelli, and you're grabbing it like from its shoulders, and Red is trying to get up and get its arm, and you end up peeling off skin instead of actually getting purchase onto its shoulders, and you rip that off, and you see the zombie turn around and look at you, release Estrelli with one hand, pick up Red, and stuff Red into the coffin as well.
It's getting a little crowded in here.
So Australia, now you're in a coffin with a snow leopard, who is about as large as you, probably.
Yeah, it's right on top of Estrelli.
And probably very angry and like squirming around with claws everywhere.
Can I try to grab the zombie and pull him into the coffin too?
Coffin party.
Now, I don't know if you guys know anything about coffins, but they're not exactly roomy or spacious.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, Zed
Yeah.
is, I mean, Estrelli is laying in the coffin, and then he has a snow leopard pinned on top of him. It's not in the coffin,
Well-
it's like on the coffin.
Does the zombie still have one hand on me?
Yes, one on you and one on Red.
Can I grab his arm that he has on me and just try to rip his arm off?
Okay.
It's a zombie.
Roll hack
So.
and slash.
All right, and 1 sec.
And while all of this body flinging is going around, Zed is preparing to cast another set of force bolts.
Okay. So go ahead and deal your damage, Australia, and then...
Considering my music has caused like nothing but pain this entire game, I have to wonder if maybe I should have just rolled a barbarian.
Maybe you missed your calling.
Now I'm imagining Australia as a barbarian carrying around like a little lute.
I think
I'm a bard, damn it.
So what happens is you are able to you don't rip the arm off, but you are able to like twist it and contort it and break it such that it is not as useful. It obviously doesn't feel pain because it's an undead creature. But then it leans down and it actually bites Red. So I actually don't know how animal companions work if they take damage.
yeah, they don't have health.
Yeah.
You could just put the damage on me, I guess.
I don't think that makes sense, though. So I'm going to say it bites Red and its ferocity is reduced to 0.
Okay, that's fine.
What do you all do? I know Zed is wanting to cast his magic missiles again. Yes?
Yes, I am.
All right, go ahead and
Now a
roll
good
plus
time?
intelligence. Solid. You haven't failed a single one. Actually, you did fail one thing, didn't you? You got to mark XP, I think.
No,
no?
that was just like a 7 or something.
Oh, okay. But yeah,
It-
go
it
ahead
wasn't-
and roll your
It
damage.
wasn't even a fail.
Okay.
6 more damage from force bolts slamming into it from every angle.
Okay, I just had to look at the rolls to remember which damage went with which enemy. Okay, so your force bolts slam into the back of this creature, and you see these dark, sickly-looking bruises start to form on its flesh, but it's not dead yet. What do you all do?
I remember the force bolts against the flesh golems were able to blow chunks off of them. Now I can't even do anything more than bruises.
Yeah,
These are
were
stronger than
extremely tough
flesh
to-
golems.
Yeah, I know.
Um,
It's just a little bit disappointing.
I mean, I think at this point, just putting more arrows in it is probably the way to go. Just like step back over to this corner and shoot more arrows at the zombie.
Okay,
Seems about right.
go ahead and roll your volley.
Oh, yeah. Dexterity. 8.
All right, choose one.
I'll. s- Mm, I'll spend an ammo.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your damage.
1 second, let me just mark this ammo. Alright, so I've gone through one of my bundles of arrows.
Okay.
That's not very good damage.
It's not very good damage, but it's enough.
Hey!
Your arrow goes straight through its neck, and it falls over, releasing its grip on Red and Estrelli.
Alright,
Does it
cool.
fall over on top of Red, thus trapping Estrelli yet even deeper into the coffin?
I mean, it probably does fall forward because it was trying to shove them both into the coffin. But Red probably immediately scrambles out of the coffin and back towards Olivia. And probably like makes some sort of unhappy cat noise because Red's been bitten by a zombie and is not very happy about that.
Run that by me one more time. Sorry.
I said that yes, the zombie would fall forward because it was trying to push both Australia and Red into the coffin, but Red probably immediately scrambles off of Australia out of the coffin back towards Olivia and makes some sort of unhappy cat noise because
All right.
Red's been bitten by a zombie.
Yeah. I tried to comfortingly pet the cat, and hope that Red doesn't turn into a zombie. Yeah.
That being said, having a zombie snow leopard, pretty cool.
I guess.
I mean, would being a friend of nature make you an enemy of the undead inherently, or would you still consider her natural?
I mean, I don't know. Olivia hasn't thought about that before. Like, if you asked her, she would probably be like, huh, interesting. I never considered whether the undead count as natural or not.
All right, then. So that's 2 more. Want to take our lives into zombies' hands again, or skeletal hands, and go for the last 2, or?
Did I not take any damage there?
You didn't take any damage.
Huh.
Also, I'm a little bit disconcerted by the fact that the first 2 that we fought have axes over them now, and the rest of them
I've been
not.
lazy. Just be chill.
Because I was having a little bit of worry over that.
I don't know how we would take a piece of a zombie, really, unless you just like chop
I
it up
say
and
just-
scatter the pieces everywhere.
Just give up on it. I don't think it's worthwhile.
All right, let's fight the last 2 zombies and then
Rest
run up
before
and
the boss.
and then fight the necromancer.
There, is that better?
mean,
Does that make
For all
you
we know, the
happy?
necromancer could be actually dead. In that case, we would be a little bit over preparing, but
Well, I mean,
I
we're
doubt
also
the necromancer's
potentially
gonna
getting
be
more
active.
experience by engaging in more fights.
I guess.
That's not really how this works.
How close are you to leveling? I guess that's the question. To leveling again.
I'm only 2 points away from my second level, unless the next level up requires 9 points instead of 8. I thought
Yeah,
it
it does.
Yeah, it's current level plus 7.
Okay, so I'm like 3 points away then from
Right,
that.
so
And
you're probably
also,
not going to level off fighting these
You
zombies.
can only level once per a make a camp action.
Okay. So, yeah. Anyway, I think we should still fight the zombies. We're in pretty good shape.
All right, this one has a lot more close quarters combat though.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, I stick my rep because it pretty much doesn't really matter how we start things off. I don't think the other plan didn't work out too well for us.
I mean, the magic missile got some good damage in. The magic missile, I think, has better damage than the rapier has, and it doesn't expose us to a direct danger if we partially succeed. So I still think it's better to start with the magic missile.
Is it possible to get a shot in here? I mean,
Well, the thing
doubt
is
it.
that like
Maybe around this corner.
the thing is that the zombie would have to be outside of the coffin for Olivia to know where to shoot. Otherwise, she would just be shooting the coffin, and the coffins are made of sturdy enough wood.
Yeah.
That
That's why I'm saying magic missile is probably better than the rapier. And Olivia can't really do it.
all right. Well, I suppose Zed will attempt to do a magic missile on this closest coffin.
I'll stand behind Zed.
And
I
I
think-
will stand ready to defend.
where are you standing?
you're-
In front of Zed?
That
Like-
sounds like a bad idea.
Here-ish.
I mean, if you're defending Zed, you probably need to be...
If I'm here, it would be nice to have you here.
Wait, I think I have a better plan.
Wait, hey, you can roll defense before we attack them.
Even better.
Yes, you can.
I play a lullaby.
I don't think that's going to help.
You don't know that for sure. Who's the master of the dead and the undead here?
Okay, I mean...
This guy.
I guess it,
Okay, fair enough. I defended Zed.
I mean, good
If you
try.
do want to stand in defense of Zed, you can roll plus Constitution.
Uh,
I mean, you did say that's what you're doing. You say you're
Yeah.
defending Zed, so it kind of makes sense to roll the move.
that
Yeah.
being said,
Yeah, well, you save up, what is it, hold points, I think it
Yeah,
is?
you sit.
Yeah,
you can
And
hold.
then you can spend them when
Whoops!
either
Shoot!
of you
No!
gets attacked.
Don't navigate away. Ah! I hit the wrong thing. Okay, so hold 1, and then as long as you stand in defense, when you or the thing you defend is attacked, you may spend hold 1 for 1 to choose an option. You can either redirect an attack from the thing you defend to yourself. You can have the attack's effect or damage. You can open up the attacker to an ally, giving that ally +1 forward against the attacker. Or you can deal damage to the attacker equal to your level. And since you're level 1, you can deal 1 damage for free.
woot.
Okay.
Which is actually useful if you think it's pretty much dead. Like it's
Although
already
if it
taken.
has armor, it's not going to do anything.
Perhaps, but these
so-
haven't had armor.
I mean, I haven't told you about their armor.
You know, like they can just be naturally armored from zombie toughness or something like that. They don't necessarily have to be wearing physical armor to have armor.
All right, then. So Estrelli rolls an 8 on Constitution.
Yep, so Estrelli holds 1 and is standing in defense of Zed. What do the rest of you do?
I
Wait for
charge
Zed
up
to
my
hit the
magic
thing.
missile and unleash it when the DM allows me to.
Alright, roll to cast a spell, plus your intelligence. Okay, so choose one of the... Roll your damage and then choose one of those 3 things. I think it's, you can either forget the spell, draw unwanted attention, or you can take -1 ongoing.
Yep. Dox is standing in defense of me, so get ready, because I draw unwanted attention with the casting of magic missile.
Yay.
And I only deal
Hey.
2 damage.
So your magic missiles aren't as powerful as you're expecting, and as they slam into the coffin, they only really just rock the coffin, and you can see like a couple of dents, but they don't splinter the wood and punch through like you were expecting. And then you hear the cracking of wood as both zombies rise from the coffins, and you see this coffin lid here slam into this wall here, and then this coffin lid here goes flying towards Estrelli and Zed. What do you do?
Hey. Still looking for that defense list. One sec.
Estrelli can continue to stand in defense. It's under basic moves, number 4.
Yeah.
So, like,
In the
is
handouts.
the lid flying at them a threat they have to deal with it, or is that just something that's happening?
It's a threat that they have to deal with.
All right.
Basically,
I'm
I'm
gonna try
looking-
to.
I'm looking to see if Estrelli wants to defend Zed against this, or if they both want to defy danger, basically.
So he can either spend his 1 hold now.
Well, I'm standing in front of him right now, so
But you
Could
could still duck out of the way, but then you will no longer be standing in defense of Zed, basically.
well, could I try to defy danger by blocking it?
I feel like you're both being attacked, and if
It seems like with Zed standing here, it would be really hard for this coffin lid to hit him.
but the thing is, it's
Like-
like flying over like this. It's not just like flying straight out. It's like being flipped over.
But
With
like it would
force.
have to go around the corner in order to hit Zed.
But Zed had to peek around the corner to cast his spell.
I guess.
Have the attacks effect or damage?
Okay.
But like, is it still hitting Zed and me?
Um,
Like, who's it hitting?
I was kind of hitting both of you, and I was going to split the damage. If you have the damage, I'll just roll the damage, and you'll take half of it.
Okay.
Okay, just roll 1d6 and take half that damage. And your armor will subtract 1 from that.
So I take 1.
So you see these zombies, you see one zombie rise from its coffin. You can assume the other's doing the same, and they both start to shamble towards you. What do?
I run forward with my rapier. I try to stab it back into the coffin.
Which one are you trying to stab back into the coffin?
The close one.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your hack and slash plus strength.
Wait, that wasn't right.
1d6.
There we go.
Hey.
Okay.
Better day.
So I will go ahead and let that damage count, unless you wanted to. Do you want to, at your option, roll extra damage?
With these guys, we might have to. They're pretty strong.
But the
And
thing is
that
that
was a
right,
really cool.
but right now it's not making an attack against you.
Yeah. Okay. I'll let
So-
that stand for now.
Okay. So you don't manage to stab it back into the coffin, but you do stab it quite deeply with your rapier. What do the rest of you do?
Can I follow up with an arrow
Sure.
to that zombie?
Where are you standing?
I'm standing behind Zed.
You would either have to pass Zed or kind of squeeze up next to him to be able to have line of sight.
Okay, so what about this zombie? Has this zombie,
Yeah,
come
you'd be able to
forward?
shoot this zombie because this zombie, they're kind of engaged here-ish,
Right. Okay. So
and
if
then
there's
this
only one
one's kind
zombie
of
I can see-
here-ish. Actually, let me go ahead and whoops, wrong button. Oops, still wrong button. Yeah.
All the wrong buttons.
Yeah. Just to kind of give you an idea of where things are. So yeah, if you want, I assume that Estrelli is... He said he lunged forward at the closest one to stab it back in the coffin. So he kind of went here and started stabbing this one. And then this one kind of moved from here in this direction. So you
Yeah.
would be able to shoot that one.
If that's the only one I can see, that's what I'll go for.
Okay?
And Red is not leaping forward at this time because Red is feeling stressed out about having been bit by a zombie.
Okay, so... Choose...
I'm
do you
gonna spend the ammo.
spend the ammo? Okay.
'Cause
How much-
I don't feel like there's a convincing way to put myself in danger from the back of the party like that. So yeah, ammo.
Well, as part of your attack, you could have run up forward.
But if I was doing that, I would have attacked the other zombie. Hey.
Solid. Okay, so that would...
Yeah, so I guess I shoot him 3 times.
Okay, you you basically shout for Zed to duck as you unleash your volley of arrows.
I'm gonna shoot a lot of arrows down this way.
And you see a great number of arrows sticking out of this zombie's chest as it lumbers towards Zed. What do the rest of you do? Actually, Zed, what do? You haven't done anything yet.
Another magic missiles at the guy who has become a pincushion.
Okay, go ahead and roll pleasant to cast a spell.
Hey, that's 14.
Gosh, look at you. Roll your damage.
You're not leveling up twice today.
Yeah, Zed zero experience wizard.
There's those low numbers.
Kind of
we love.
underwhelming after rolling a 14 on the spell.
So, your force missiles go slamming into this creature. You see its shoulder jerk back as it gets hit, but it's still standing and it's still coming at you. What are you all doing?
Probably is up, right?
Well, it doesn't matter.
Or-
You've all kind of had a chance to do something in this phase. So whoever...
I don't mind shooting more arrows at it. I still have some left.
I
Okay.
really don't have anything that I could do except forecast more magic missiles. I mean, I can either swing at it with my staff or do double
I mean,
the damage of magic missiles.
Magic missiles are probably the way to go if you want to injure it.
It's pretty solid damage.
More so than hitting it with
So
a shot.
Olivia, are you trying to shoot it again?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, go ahead and
Let's
roll
get
your
some
volley.
XP here. Give me some XP. Nope, that's not XP.
Okay, so
I'm gonna take what I can get and deal less damage in this.
okay, 1d8 minus 1d6.
That's 3 damage. That's not bad.
Okay, let me do some quick math. It's just enough.
Hey,
you keep squeaking by with just enough. So
Needs one more arrow, I think, in that zombie. Just one more. I'm gonna go nuts and shoot 3 more arrows at the zombie.
So it does take you a couple of shots, not enough to mark off ammo, obviously, but you place one in its shoulder, and then you manage to get one like right through the eye, and it just falls over backwards.
Okay, that's good.
Estrella, you are still engaged in melee combat with another zombie. What are you doing?
I continue my attack.
Okay, go ahead and roll your hack and
Dart.
slash.
Okay, let's
No, that's
actually
good
hit the
damage.
right button this time.
Now, could I possibly do a defense on Estrella to counter the attack that's coming in from the guy
Yeah.
of the hack and slash?
Absolutely.
Could I roll for that now?
Yeah.
And that's what, Constitution?
Yes, so roll plus your constitution. I have to do some math.
All right.
Hey, nice.
Okay. So you gain 1 hold.
And I use that to.
I was
have
about to
any
say
damage.
he's about to be attacked. So you can spend your hold to do one of those 4 things. So you can either redirect an attack from the thing you defend to yourself. You can have the attack's effect or damage. You can open up the attacker to an ally, or you can deal damage to the attacker equal to your level.
I have the attack's effect or damage.
Okay. Estrella, please roll 1d6 plus 1d4 and take half that damage.
Somebody gave it almost twice its attack power. So I had to go and step in and have
So
it.
you take 3
So does it
minus
round-
1 damage. So you take 2 damage.
Defend is a good ability. We gotta use this more.
Defense pretty good, yeah.
So like the zombie reached out to attack Estrella, and I bat its hand away with my staff.
Yeah, I mean, it still manages to claw at him or like bruise his arm or something as it grabs for him, but you're able to like whack the hand off of him before it can really like get good purchase. What do the rest of you do?
That was another round,
Okay,
right?
damage was rolled.
That was
Yeah.
another round. It was Olivia, then me, then
I mean, there's
Estrella.
no rounds in
There's
this.
not really rounds. Kind of just anybody who feels like it can go.
Yeah,
I'm
but
just trying to,
only
like, if
one person
someone's-
go-
If someone seems like they're attacking a lot or doing a lot, then I'll just go back and say, okay, well, while this is happening, what are you doing? But there's really no turn order. So, I mean, if everyone wants Zed to go again and you want to cast your magic missile thing,
I think that's probably our best bet. I mean, Zed is probably our strongest offensive person because I don't actually have +2 dex, so
And I'll
I'm more
stand in
likely to fail
defense
the
of him.
rolls. Yeah.
Or I'll just stand in defense in general, just in this situation.
well, you have to
Defense
just...
against the zombie.
I mean, the zombie can't really attack me, so Zed is really the only person who you could defend.
I mean, does calling
I can also
unwanted
defend
attention
myself.
on myself count
Oh.
as being attacked?
Sorry, what?
Does what now?
Does calling unwanted attention to myself count as being attacked?
Not necessarily.
It
It
can,
depends.
but
I mean,
if
yeah, it
does end up being
it
attacked,
depends
then
on what the unwanted attention is.
Huh.
The
which
unwanted.
could be the boss monster wakes up.
All right. Well, I do.
That would
cast
be
that.
unwanted, much
I
more
rolled
than the enemy attacking us, probably.
Thanks, Hazel. Thank you
Hey.
for saying that.
All right. So I should roll for magic missile attack now.
If that's what you're doing, yeah. So, you will deal your damage and then choose one.
I will draw unwanted attention to myself and roll my damage.
Okay. So your force missiles slam in. Are they still force missiles? I should say.
Yeah, they're the
Okay.
most effective against the undead, unless he happens to find something.
So your force missiles slam into this creature, and you see its head snap violently to one side, then the other, as your force missiles sort of smash its skull in, and then it collapses to the floor.
And Zed harumphs, I've had just about enough of these undead. What are they? I don't know what to describe them as. Constructs, maybe? Undead constructs?
They're not really constructs. They're more like how do they?
Zombies.
Trying to see if there's
Horrors?
horrors is a good word. I'm just trying to see if there's anything that they're listed under the monster manual. Nope, they're
Undead
just
annoyances.
they're legions of the undead. That's all. Okay, so as the zombie collapses, there's a moment of respite and silence. And then you hear the grinding of stone in the distance. What do?
I did warn you about that.
Yep, sarcophagus is opening. Let's go.
Alright. Prepare to fight the boss monster.
I play a song.
While we
Yeah,
run
I mean,
around
he's
the
already
corner.
buffed up at this point, so, like, what, is he gonna get double buffed? No. That actually makes it much safer to use this ability right now.
Yeah, the worst thing that could possibly happen has already happened.
Yeah, it already has gone as bad as it can go.
I love how, like, 2 monsters into this tower is when he
Yeah.
let that off and it happened. So every monster past that
On
point for the entire tower was super buffed up.
Including the ones underground.
I mean, I did tell you could stop.
Yes,
Yeah.
but
Australia doesn't listen to anyone, even his own conscience.
So,
Alright, so
like
We all
you
come-
put risk versus music. I mean,
we all go running around the
Yeah,
corner to go
run-
face
run
the big
around.
boss of the sarcophagus.
Okay.
Australia is playing a boss monster theme.
do-do-do-do.
So, are you trying to weave a spell
Yes.
into a song? Choose an ally and an effect, and then roll plus charisma.
I choose Zed. The effect will be plus 1d4 damage forward. And it happens with an 8.
Okay. 1 second. Oh, what? Why is... That's weird. Okay, we'll just put it there. Boop boop. Gotta look at the thing.
Like, I kind of have the feeling that this ability should never be used. Because the negative is always so much worse than the positive.
Yeah, and that's on a success. And like, even if you
Yeah.
if you fail it, it could just buff every monster in the dungeon and do nothing for us.
Okay, so,
I don't know.
go ahead and write down somewhere, someone, that Zed, you get plus 1d4 forward to your damage.
Okay.
I think Hazel's noting that down in the chat.
Yeah.
And you hear like the sound of like coins falling as you are rushing forward. You hear like that sort of tinkling, clanking of coins, and that sort of like like the metallic kind of shaking sound. And as you turn the corner, you see this obviously it's labeled mummy, but basically you see this humanoid.
label.
Yeah, we can't see them on
Oh,
the
okay,
board, but anyway,
cool.
continue.
It's labeled as mummy for people on stream. You see this figure, and it's walking down the stairs, and it is wrapped in bandages all over its body. And the only part of its body that you can see aside from its sort of black fingertips, are the hollows of its eyes, and in those hollows there is a just like a black void. It continues to stride down the stairs. And
Well-
it is walking towards you, but it doesn't even seem to be looking at you. Behind it, its open sarcophagus, the lid has fallen behind it and slid down, and you can see piles of treasure, including many coins and gems, inside the rich fabric lining of the inside of the sarcophagus.
Well, as upon coming around the corner and seeing what he had suspected to be there, he already has a magic circle up for more magic missiles. This time it is not purple, as in force, but red. The
Okay.
magic circle in front of his hand.
Yeah, mummies do seem flammable.
I spell lures on mummies.
Okay, go ahead and roll plus wisdom. No, plus intelligence. I'm sorry. So you know that, you know that there are certain cultures that revere the dead, and that they don't bury them in the earth and mourn their passing, but instead they spend weeks preparing the sacred corpse for its eternal rest.
Eternal.
I mentioned that it looks like a lot of work went into those bandages. Very good bandage work. I also wonder if any of them can be saved.
The mummy looks
If I
over.
have
Thank
anything
you.
to say about it, I'm ready to torch this abomination.
Okay, go ahead and roll to cast
That's-
a spell.
That's the word I was looking for. Abomination.
Ah,
Why did I remember about it now? Alright, in any case.
I stand in defense
okay.
of Zed.
So go ahead and roll your damage and then choose one.
Would I get a +1 forward for Dox's informative knowledge about mummies?
No, because he didn't get a 10 plus.
Alright then. And so this is 3d4 because it also counts the 1d4
Yeah.
forward.
Solid. Okay.
And 3 red force bolts shoot out. And
I thought they weren't force.
what was that?
I thought they weren't force.
I ended up calling them force by accident. My bad. Well, they're bolts of magic, but they're tinged with like fire aspect. The damage is still going to be the same. It's not, any like ongoing fire damage won't happen. So it's up to narrative to describe how it happens. But
Well, you also
Just-
have to choose a negative effect as well because you didn't roll a 10.
I draw attention to myself. I have
Oh.
a protector. Fine. It's good. Estrelli has my back.
Okay. Estrelli, did you want to stand in defense of...
Yes.
Okay, roll plus constitution.
Nope.
Okay. So here's what happens. Zed, you cast your spell, and Estrelli, you leap at the ready in front of Zed as you see this mummy struck by these bolts of fiery force, and the bandages on it burn away. And
A glorious naked man.
no, you expect to see something humanoid underneath, but you only see shadowy, inky blackness beneath the bandages. And it strides forward towards you, past you, through you, and as it moves through you, you feel a curse in your bones. Both of you.
I hate it when that happens.
And because
Also,
that...
did Estrelli mark experience for rolling
Oh.
6?
Make sure you mark XP, Estrelli.
Good catch.
Yeah, somehow your failure managed to spread into me, but that's all right.
Well, no, this is both
Well,
of
you
your
were
fail-
already.
Yeah, this is...
Oh yeah.
This is... He just wasn't able to do anything about it. So you both failed, so you both I mean, you both have something bad happen to you because you chose unwanted attention. So this is
So
your
you said cursed. Does
So
that
here-
count as like scarred or confused or?
I want you to mark that you are both stunned and shaky.
Well, I mean, I have to admit, there's logic in being stunned and shaky after a black ichor creature walks through you.
And you see it heading towards the tower. What do you do?
Well, Olivia hasn't done anything yet.
You're muted.
Olivia is muted.
I'm unsure at this point whether arrows will even injure a creature of pure shadow, but
Great way to tell.
Arrows are all I've got, so I'm gonna give it a shot.
Well, they worked against skeletons. I mean, any other D&D type
I mean, I
game,
guess.
I mean,
you guys
go
are hitting
roll your
skeletons with arrows and rapiers.
Roll my volley.
roll your volley.
We rolling volley, and I failed.
Wow, so much XP.
So mark XP.
XP.
The creature,
not.
as you fire arrows, you see the arrows pass through it with no effect, and the creature passes through you as well. And you are also cursed by the creature, so you are stunned and shaky.
Okay.
And the creature, nothing stands in the way of the creature and the door, and it continues to head in that direction.
I come running up behind it now, holding my magical stone.
Oh,
I attempt to punch it with this magical anti-undead stone.
Can you please defy danger with your wisdom?
What wisdom?
Okay. So you reach up with this stone and you start to force it towards this creature, and you feel like it start to heat up and burn in your hand. You can feel it start to get pulled out of your hand as well. You can either hold on to it and keep it and suffer damage, or you can release it, but then it is going to be absorbed into the shadow being. What do you do?
I don't let it have the super evil stone.
Okay. I need to look at something real quick. Okay. Please roll 1d10 plus 2 plus 1d4 forward and take that much damage.
It's a hot rock.
Is there any
Why
way
do
that,
all my magical items suck?
is there any way that Zed could roll to defend to have him take
No,
that
you were
damage?
behind.
I think you were too far
It's against a hot rock burning his
And
hand.
not only that, but like this is his choice that he made. Like he chose to accept the damage.
Now,
No,
am I
wait,
wearing gloves? Do I get
it-
the armor bonus?
Is this damage coming from the creature?
It's kind of
That's
both. It's
wrong.
like they're both like it's like the creature is trying to wrest the stone from
I see.
him.
Okay.
And so yeah. You will get your armor with that, Estrelli. You can have gloves.
Okay, I'm at 0. What happens?
Oh, something interesting
You're at 9
happens.
health? Or you were at 8 health?
I was at 8 health. Now I'm at 0.
Okay.
Okay.
Boop boop. Let me pull up the special moves. Because you never get below 0 anyway. So.
Okay. So it didn't matter.
No. Last breath. When you're dying, you catch a glimpse of what lies beyond the black gates of Death's kingdom. So, here's what happens. You nobly hold on to this stone, and you can feel it burning through you. You can feel this burning going into your arm and like almost traveling through your bloodstream to your heart. You collapse, and your consciousness starts to sink down and down deep into the bowels of the earth. And you feel like you're falling, but like also like you're floating as you're just diving deeper and deeper into what must be the center of this world. And you slow and your feet alight on this stone ground and you're surrounded by shadow. And you look around and then you hear footsteps as a woman approaches you. She has very slender skeletal... Ooh! Oh no! Oh no!
What?
Oh, my cams went away. Can you all still hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Okay, then we're gonna keep going. So she has very slender skeletal features, very long fingers, long arms. Her face is shrouded by like a hood and a long black robe. But you can see her, like her bony wrists and her very, very pale skin. Roll 2d.
I attempt to seduce her.
Roll 2d6. Plus nothing.
Don't fail.
This one's not gonna be just an experience opportunity.
You don't.
I
don't
think
get
I
to
got
mark
a
XP for
definite
that.
experience opportunity there.
Welcome,
I'm going to
Estrella.
experience something.
You hear a voice, and Death says, "Welcome, Estrella." And she reaches out to you, and you walk beyond the gates of death, and they close behind you. Estrella is dead.
Let me just say, as he's walking through, he says, "So, where do I go to see my wife?"
Aww.
Damn.
Well, yeah. So you see Estrella's corpse holding this stone in his hand. You see this inky, shadowy half of a mummy surging towards the dais. What do the rest of you do?
He's not for the stone then.
What's that? He's still holding the stone. Yes.
Like, is the creature trying to get the stone from Australia, or is the stone remaining in Australia's hand and the creature's walking away?
The creature is surging away. It's not really walking anymore. It's almost
But
like floating.
it's not
but
doing
yeah.
it.
It's not. It
So
seems
it's not
unconcerned.
doing anything to the stone.
No, it is not.
It's going to suck if I
I'm going
died for
to-
nothing, and I should have just given it the stone.
I did say there was something we had to do once we opened it. I wonder if that was it.
Well, there was probably something we had to do before we opened.